Ba-da-da! Howdy, welcome to BanjoBenClark.com. Today we are starting a 2-week series on the 8th of January. We're doing Mandolin first. We're going to do Banjo next week. By the time you're watching this, we may have already done Banjo. Depends on how slow you are. Check it out. All right, that was really 2 solos in one, right? We did one down low, we did one up high. I like to vary the melody as we go. It gets a little slippery here and there. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, I invite you over to my website, BanjoBenClark.com, where you can find tons of videos, lessons, and tabs. Every week we do this. We switch out instruments, and you can go over there and find about a 30-minute video lesson for each one of these songs that I teach. And also you can pick up the handy tab. You can print it out as a PDF, or you can download it as the TEF file, which I love, the tablet edit program. One thing I want to say, this song was a request of a good friend of mine, and he happens to be an expert craftsman, and I want to just give a shout out to him. His name's David Billick, and he lives up in Michigan, and he makes some amazing products. I don't get any commission off this. I just wanted to share with y'all some incredible things that he's built me, and he has them available for order on his website. Check out this music stand. It's hard for you to see, kind of, but this is handmade from him. I love it because it's sturdy and it adjusts very high and very low, and also you can control the pitch of the stand. So I actually love using this at church, as well as his instrument stands. He makes guitar stands, and I love it's got a little bar at the top, keeps you from anything from dropping. He even makes little mandolin stands. It's so cute. Go check him out, support him. He's a good dude, and his products are well worth the price, and you'll love them. All right, let's dive in measure 1. Let's kick her off, 8th of January. Right there in measure 1, we're going to start with a slide going from the 6th to the 7th fret on the D string. And there's 2 measures of kickoff here. I call those potatoes. If you watch very many of my videos, you're familiar with that. But I had a question the other day. Somebody said, you know, on these potatoes, I have a hard time just hitting the 3 strings, or maybe it's just 2 strings that you're asking me to hit. Like in this case, we're going to be going from the 6th to the 7th fret, but we're also going to be playing the open A and E strings. Okay? And so they might, especially if they're playing it fast, accidentally get that G string in there. One way to help you with that is, and I do this a lot of times, is mute the string that you don't want to play. So I'm not pressing down, making a note necessarily, but just holding my hand over it. That way, if you did play it, I can go ahead and strum all 4 strings and not have to worry about it. But anyway, that first measure, we're going to slide in. Pay attention to your pick strokes. That's why there's a arrow there beneath each one of the notes. Lets you know if it's a downstroke or an upstroke. Slide and 3 and 4 and slide 2 and 3. Okay. Then we get into the A part, and as I've mentioned, we're doing 2 solos of this song. Okay, and so we're going to do one down low and one up high. But as we go into this first A part, we're going to stay pretty close to the melody as it's traditionally known, and it picks up there at the end of measure 2. Sounds like this. Then we go measure 3. Pretty simple, huh? Measure 4, it changes to a D chord in the rhythm, and this is all pretty simple picking stuff. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and measure 5. It's going to an E chord that doesn't really concern you, but just to let you know that what the rhythm's doing behind you as you're playing. Once again, we're staying in this same kind of little pattern, this A major pattern. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and measure 6. We wrap up the first little half of the A part. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and end of measure 6 is just like the end of measure 2. We're walking right back into a second time through the A part, okay? So measure 7, what I wanted to do here was present the same melody for the most part, but just give a slight variation. And you'll see how we do that. First part of measure 7's the same as what we did before, but here we have something different. On the third beat, we have a slide from the 3rd fret to the 4th fret on the A string. Okay, so measure 7. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Remember, we do a downstroke on that slide. The slide takes the place of what would have been my upstroke, so that's why we have another downstroke on the 2nd fret. Down, down, up. Measure 8, pretty simple. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then measure 9, as we're wrapping up this first A part of the first solo, we're going to play 2 strings at once, and we're going to get into a little bit of that later on in the B part, but we're going to play just straight through. We've got our 2nd fret on the A string and our open E string, and then on the 2nd beat we're going to play the same 2 notes, except then hammer to the 4th fret, so it sounds like this. 1 and 2 and, cool, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the measure 10, wrapping up the A part. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now let's take a look at the B part, because now our chord progression changes, and this is where the melody changes as well. Let's take a look at that.